Hello, this is a quick introduction to LSPS Enterprise PDS, which stands for Process Design Suite, and primarily we're gonna deal with the thick client in this section. We will not do anything fancy. It will be a very basic introduction to the environment and to what you could potentially do with it. So we have downloaded the installer. So let's run it. I have previously already installed Java 8. Let's click through the installer. We need to provide the license file. Now the thick line is being installed into our home folder. And that's it. Now we can run it. Let's find it. We run the binary. This is a default workspace, which is basically a directory with all the resources we will create during this session. You can just keep the default one. You can change the name to whatever feels convenient. So this is the thick client with all the basic layout. This is what you should see as well. So we want to create a simple model, we want to test it, or we want just to run it to see how everything works. So what we're gonna do, we need to create a project, which is a top folder. It doesn't do anything, it serves only to organize your resources, just like a regular Java project. We will delete all these libraries since we don't need them and keep only the standard library. The standard library contains modules which we need to create our processes and models and everything, forms and so on. So we keep this, we click next. Now we can straight away create a module, which we will call hello world module. There we have it. So we have a module here which automatically was created with these module imports. You can adjust the imports as required here, so you can add new ones or remove them depending on what your project contains. Now this is simply a container for definitions of our processes, role definitions, variable definitions, and so on. What we want to create, what we want to design is a process. It's a BPMN process, and this process will live in this module. So let's create the process. Like that. And we want to create a BPMN process. Just keep it simple. If we take a look at the problems here, validation problems, we see that the BPMN process must have a start event or an activity with no incoming flow. We will just insert a non-start event, and we will simply end this with simple end event. So what will happen when we run this start event is gonna produce a token, or it's gonna start its execution. The token will be passed then via this flow to the simple to the simple end event, which will consume the token, and the process will finish. As part of this flow, we want to execute something. We want to execute an expression. So if we select it, we can define all sorts of details, but we can define also assignments. Assignments defined simply as an expression. It will be executed when the token passes. So what we want to do, we want to just log a message. So the message will be the token passed, and the level will be 1000. Save that. And now we need an environment to run it. If we take a look in our workspace, currently there is only the project folder, which is this folder. But we will now run the embedded server, which will create another folder here, and that will be a folder with all the resources of the embedded server. This is how to run, and if it's not present yet, how to also install the embedded server. So let's run it and install it. We will see, here we see the progress of the installation, and we can straight away take a look here. And if we list everything, we will see that here is the folder with the embedded server. We can peek inside as well. We see that there is the embedded database, the application ER, which will be deployed to the server itself. So now we see that the application was deployed. So we are ready basically to deploy our module and run it. We will do it from the management perspective. There are other options such as a command line tool. There is a command line tool to do that, or there is a web management console. We will take a look at it in a moment. So at the moment we will use the management perspective, so we can use we use the same environment for everything. Here we can see what's present on what resources are available on the server. Currently the server is empty, so we're gonna upload our Hello World module from our workspace. This is it. See, here is the module with all its module imports. And since the module is executable, we've seen that we can see it by the little play arrow here, and also in the properties. If the module is not executable, it cannot become a model instance, so we would not be able to create its runtime version, aka model instance. But like I said, it's executable, so we will be able to create a model instance, and there we have it. The module instance became finished instantly because all that happened was that the process was started, the token went from the start event to the end event, was consumed, and everything finished. The process finished, the model instance finished. So if we take a look at the details, you can see here is the model instance, and here is the process instance, and here is a progress diagram. Take a look at what happened during the execution. So we see the change of the states. We see the states of individual elements here. What we know that happened in this case was that when the token passed through the flow element, this assignment was executed, and the assignment performed logged the event, and the logged event is here. Mind that this is not the server logging system. This is a special model logging system. Now we will take a look at the web management console. The embedded server is running on localhost, and it's a Wildfly server, and we want to see the management tool. And here we have it. If we take a look at the individual views, we see that these are exactly the same data we've seen in the management perspective. So if you want to, you can upload new models and so on just as well, only using the management perspective or using the management console, or in addition, as part of the runtime suite package, there is a command line tool which can do it for you as well. This was a quick introduction to PDS and LSPS. We've seen the modeling perspective. We created a very, very simple model and ran it, uploaded it, and ran its instance from the management perspective. Thank you very much for watching.